Hello, Alice here from That in Budget. And yeah, today's the 10th of July. I haven't closed out the month of June, and yeah, I have to work around the clock. Okay, so let's pull out this and this is the calendar for this month. This is the monthly closing. I have been working and I have closed it out, but wow, it's really hot. I just want to pull all these out and to let you guys see that if you square out your weeks or your bi-weekly, your monthly is way easy to complete with these sheets and not the trackers. And you don't have to go count, because I do use the highlight method. Give me a second, I need a fan in this room. Oh my god, it's really hot. I'm pause, and yeah, I'll be back in a minute. Okay, now without further ado, oh, by the way, I do have a list for June. We are doing a July playlist. It's up. It's sponsored by Blessed Budget by Abigail, and we have a couple of girls that are doing the list, and I will be writing that in the description. Go check each channel out. Shout out to those girls. And now, without further ado, let's do the closing of this budget. I hope I don't mix up papers, which I usually do, and move them out of position. I'm hoping it's set, and I'm trying to keep it still. Okay, so for my total income, I had a rollover of $107.13. I wish I had something that'll cover it up so you guys won't. Okay, let's see. Okay, my rollover of $107.13. I had guesstimated 30, so yay for me. That worked out much better. For my income and my extra hours, I thought I wasn't going to get any extra hours. I do believe that's a low budget. This is a bi-weekly paycheck, and I do have extra hours. I take what I can every single day if possible. And I also have a new side hustle, which is every 2 weeks, and that is new, so we'll see how that goes. And I did get my extra hours, $60. Yay! So my total income for this week is $107.13 plus $812.66, 100. My side hustle, $60 worth of extra hours, and that adds up to $1,079.79. That's my total income for this week, and it's the last week of June. I got paid on the 25th. That means the first week of July. I have no income coming in because I am a bi-weekly. I get paid bi-weekly, excuse me. Oh my god, sorry the distraction. I haven't slept. Yeah, it's been stressful for me. I've only gotten 4 hours of sleep the past few 5 days, and yesterday I did not get no sleep whatsoever last night. I went to work. Yeah, And yeah, I'm recording this, so yeah. Anyway, for my bills this week, the only bill that comes out on the last week is $20, and that would be for my cancer insurance. And I subtract those $20 from my total inflow, giving me a leftover of $1,059.79. That leftover I carry down to my savings goals. And in my savings goals, if you follow me, you know I do invest $100 every month. It's not much, but you know, it goes a long way, and I just let it roll. If you're younger, this is excellent because you can, I don't know, they give you dividends, blah, 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 and all that stuff. There's people that know about that, and yeah, but I need to do something to learn, at least to understand it better. But I just, no. I just, you know, let it go. And for my savings challenges, you guys saw that I pulled out $50 for my savings challenges. It's supposed to be $45, but I used the extra $5 to stuff, to put for the ding ding ding, or if I completed a challenge, or if I needed to complete a challenge, have that little boost for that, right? So my savings for this week was $150. I subtract that from my leftover of $1,059.79, end up with $909.79, which that leftover I go to my next category, which is my variable spending or my cash wallet. And I also do ATM spending, so I use my bank card for that. Yeah, I need to get better with that, but that's just a whole nother story. And when you tally up all my spending, which is 1, 2, 10, 34.98, 15, we got another $10 and 30. This is a new category, car wash. I spent $30, so that'll be, yeah, once in a blue moon that will happen. So for my wallet spending, or my cash spending, or my variable spending, whichever you want to call it, or however you call it, is $102.98. Those were all the transactions in bank and in wallet. I subtract that amount from my leftover, and that's $909.79 minus $102.98, and end up with a balance of $806.81. This I would have to verify with my worksheets. How do you verify with your worksheets? You add each category balance, and then you subtract it from your total inflow, and it should be the same as what you have in your leftover. Okay, now obviously you have to go to the bank and verify what you have, and if it's the same with your worksheets. If it's not the same, you forgot something, you left something out, or you transcribed it incorrectly. It does happen. And if it's a couple of dollars, I just don't stress it. And if it's cents, I just roll that over. I don't even look at those cents, right? Okay, so in my wallet, with the spending that I had, I have a remainder of $51.78. $51.78. And then in my first account, I have $396.27. And in my second account, which is I use that for my sinking funds for my personal loan, plus 358.76, and that is exactly what I have in my bank account. That means that this occasion I wrote down every single cent correctly, and yeah, it worked out perfectly, and every transaction came out this week. Sometimes it gets foggy or it gets a little stressful when transactions don't come out on that week that you're closing, and it's like sort of confusing. But you know, take it easy. Remember that there's a transaction pending, and make sure that in the upcoming week it does show up. Okay, so this is my rollover for my starting balance in July. And did I pull out that sheet so you guys can see? I did transfer it. Okay, I just don't want you guys to get confused. This is the beginning of July, and as you can see, I hope, yeah, as you can see, my rollover is $806.81. I had guesstimated $700. I got $100 more, which is good. So yeah, even though I'm behind, I have been busy. I have been doing my work and my budgeting. I just haven't been able to film. So now, with that being said, we still have to close out the month. I use the last sheet that she gives us. She gives us 5 sheets because sometimes there's 5 weeks in months, and when that occurs, you have an extra. So I use it to budget. Where is my baby? Where's my baby? This is the first week, second week, third week, and the fourth. See, we have them all laid out. I do color coordinate, just like the Budget Mom and a couple of other budgeters on YouTube. And it's so much easier when you're trying to close out your I'm trying to find, okay, here it is. The purpose for me to use this as a monthly closing is that this sheet in particular helps me complete my monthly budget category breakdown in the budget book. Why? Because it's already tallied up in this sheet. I don't have to go back and forth. I do that back and forth here. But if you do your sheets on a weekly basis, you already went through it. All you have to do is lay them out and go category by category, and add them, and then you add them here in your monthly closing. So it's so much easier, at least for me. Okay, and that's the way I do it. I use my weekly sheets, and since they're already highlighted, it's much easier to identify my subscription. See, I have 2 subscriptions. I don't have them in any other week, so I add these 2. I have the budgeted and I have the actual. So I put the budgeted and I put the actual. And guess what? When you have to do this sheet, all I have to do is transcribe it here. I look for the category, I look for what I budgeted, and then I write the monthly spending. It's already here, okay? And it's so much easier. And the end of the week, obviously, when you calculate, it should end exactly the same. Okay? Because all you're doing is adding these totals to one sheet. There you go. That can go away, and this can stay. So my starting balance for the month of June was $962.24. Where did I find that out? That was the rollover I had for the month of May. All I do is write it here. See how simple it is once you have it already? Next, my earned income. My earned income is the total I have here. And I write it here. And you keep on doing that till your other income, savings used, and then you add them, and that'll give you the total monthly inflow. The importance of the total monthly inflow is that you need that total in order to see your percentage of what you spent on each category. How do you do that? Easy. It took me a while to figure it out. I watched the videos a while, and yeah. But I finally got it. But it's really easy. All you have to do is your month spent. You divide that by your total monthly inflow, and you roll the decimal point 2 spaces to your right. And once you roll the two spaces down, you verify where it landed. If it's a 5 and up, then you round up before the decimal. Okay. Let's do a few. We have my monthly spent on utilities was $359.73. This is my water utility, my cell phone, my internet, my electricity, internet, my cell phone. I consider that a necessity, and it's a utility for me, including my phone, because I don't have a home phone. So my phone is my personal phone, my home phone, my emergency phone, my work phone, etc. So it is a utility piece for me. So you take your amount spent and you divide that. You divide by your total monthly inflow, $3,374.87. And that gives you 0.106. This is a good example. See? You roll the decimal point 2 spaces to your right. 1, 2. And then you check to see if you have a 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9 after the decimal. When that occurs, you add 1 point. You round off to the nearest number. So if it's a 10, there's a 6 after the decimal, it will become an 11. There you go. Okay? And you're going to do that with each and every category where you spent. Okay? That will give you the total at the end. For each category, it should round off to $100. How do you get the rest? The rest is your starting balance for the upcoming month. That you have to divide and that'll give you the percent of how much you are rolling into your next month, which in my case is 24%. We have 806.81 divided by my total monthly inflow, 3,374.87, and that gives me 0.239. Roll the decimal 1, 2 spaces to the right, and after the decimal there is a 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. In this case it's a 9. So then you round off to the nearest, which is 24. So that's my percent. Let's add the percentages, and that should equal $100. $100. 100%. We have 11, 1, 2, 3, and 16 is 19. Excuse me, my throat is ready. I mean, that dust is really hard to breathe when you're outside. And I was watering the plants, and you guys know that after a while my throat, the frog comes out. There's a frog in there, and with the dust it's horrible. We have 25% went to our debt, and 24 went to our upcoming month, plus 24. So that's 100%. Okay, so my monthly budget was perfectly executed, with a here and there a few mess ups, but they were so minor that you couldn't tell. Okay, yeah. It happens. So what also is important here, this step can help you complete another sheet that she has. This will tell you the difference if you're budgeting correctly according to your spending. If you are spending more, you can find out because there's a difference. You subtract what you budget and what you spent, and that will give you the difference, and that will tell you if you're budgeting correctly according to your necessities. Okay, so in this occasion the difference for utilities went down, but that was because my water utility really went down. Why? I don't know. There was probably an error in the reading, because this month is big. This month is big, and I have to deal with that one. Anyway, so yeah, when this occurs a few times in the year, this will help you. Tracking this will help you analyze your yearly spending. And she does provide that sheet, that worksheet, which is this one right here. Oops, I didn't write that there. Okay. These are the same categories. These are the same highlighters that I use for the categories. And it's so much easier to keep track and to see a whole view of your spending. There are times that transportation, guess what? I know what hit me here. This is car registration and inspection. I guess this was gasoline. I drove more than usual. I'm not sure what happened here. 179. Probably oil change. No, I know oil changes do. So car insurance is due, oil changes due. So I'm gonna have to gonna have to yeah, work with that. I probably bought wipers, brought something for the car, or I had to use a parking space, and I had to spend. Which is probably that's what happened. I do believe I had my endoscopy on May and my colonoscopy in June, but I did not spend in June for parking. But I know I went in May a few times to appointments, so maybe that's it. See how you can see where you spend, how you spend it, and you can get a full view of what you can do for your upcoming year to make it better and to budget better and to have more for your savings, etc. So this will give you that view that you need. So yes, this sheet will help me fill this one out because it's already tallied. All I have to do is write it down here. My spending, let's see. This is for, I have to put it one by so I can know. This is transportation is 50. So when I hit transportation, it's 50. See, that's all I did. Transfer what I spent, I write it here. And in the last two spots is my total expenses for that month, which obviously you would have to add that up. You don't have to add it up again. You already did it here. All you have to do is transfer your total. See, it gets simpler, and you already know what's your starting balance. All you have to do is write it here, and then it begins again. Okay, this would be my earned income, my other incomes, and my used savings, my used sinking funds. Okay, so yeah, that's that. I closed out that month. I show you the overview, the yearly overview, and the highlighting method. I explained to you guys in detail as much as I understand. And yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, activate that bell, come and join me, and do your research. This is what has worked for me. It took me a while to understand it and to do it, and I tried other budget books, but I always come back to the Budget Mom. This was the one I got really used to, and I find it so simpler, at least in my brain. You know, everybody's brain is wired differently, and mine's, this is how it's wired, and I try to be organized. I guess it's probably because I'm a Capricorn. So with that being said, what else? My next video will be for my update. Today was the last video of the week for the village hop, and I will be updating that. I will do that in ASMR style because it's 3 days of the hop that I have to catch up to. Okay, and yeah, then I do believe over the weekend or on Sunday I will post my 2 weeks of July. It all depends. If I have time to do it tomorrow, and I can do at least 1 week tomorrow, which closed out on the 8th, and catch up on Sunday with the week that closes on, when does it close? Or it closed. Actually, this is that closed week. Yeah, let me get my binder. It's gonna be hard to say goodbye to the disc for next year. I'm gonna struggle with that, I know it. Yeah, the 8th closed out, and we're in to the 2nd week because today's the 10th, and that one is almost there. You see this error? Yeah, somehow my pages got switched. This wasn't in its proper place, and yeah, I wrote it here. But no, I had to white it out because it doesn't go there. This is the one that goes there. Yeah. And I write the date on it, but you know, it is what it is. And I get so distracted so easily, and yeah. Anyway, if this is something that you like, all you have to do is like, subscribe, activate that bell, come and join me. And I hope I didn't bore you to death today. But this is the way I budget. This is what I do. And I try to explain it according to my how I visualize it. And yeah, it's helped me out. And you guys have to do your research and check out. There's so many budgeters, so many different ways to budget, and you just have to find what works for you and what makes you continue to do this and what helps you out to grow. When you grow, you make changes, and those changes are for the best, not for the worst. So you will get better, and you will grow, and you will do other things. And you started one way, and when you look at yourself and in retrospect, and you go, wow, I have come a long way. So thank you for listening, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Don't forget to check out the girls that are down below. We're showing you that we are doing a July playlist to help grow those watch hours. Greatly appreciated. Check those gals out. We are working hard and struggling to continue and be motivated. I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Adios.